let's move towards the demand planning and procuring this item. So what would you typically do in this situation? You're going to place a purchase order. Let's say you're a distribution company. You need to know what sales orders are ongoing, and then you would typically be looking into each order and then doing a bulk purchase order. Now, where can this system help you better is to automate this process, right? So instead of you doing this manually, you can automate this by running this function called Requisition Worksheet. The system is going to run the report in the background and help you suggest what you need to be procuring based on the orders that are released at this point, right? So this is the worksheet where you can run a plan. So I say calculate plan, and then you can run between two planning dates. Let's say you want to plan for inventory between the start of this month and the end of this month. You can put the planning dates. You can include a forecast. You can exclude or don't include a forecast. So this is where the AI tools come in picture, which we will be talking about in the next set of webinars, which will give you more insights on what you need to be procuring on top of what's already released on the sales orders in the system. And then you can filter to one item or a group of items and so forth. So let's make it simple. Just plan it across all the items for all the orders that are released right now. So I'm not filling in any details here. I click on OK to this. And the system is looking at all the items, and it will suggest you what you have to be procuring. And there we go. That's the one line that at least that we wanted to order, right? So had we had more sales orders with low inventory, you would have seen multiple lines here, but this is just that one item that we need to procure. So here we go. So it says, here's the item number for this location. You need 15 based on the order quantity. And how does the system know how much to order? Like what is a number? So there could be a minimum order quantity, or they could be as exactly as the sales orders quantity. There could be a lot of planning parameters that will be dependent for your business, and all of these can be configured very well under the item setup, right? If I quickly drill down to the items setup, I want to just quickly show you that there is a replenishment area where you can mention all of those parameters. Sorry, the planning area here. So you can mention your reordering point, your reorder quantity point, what's the reordering policy, and so forth. So there's a lot of parameters based on what the system can suggest you. This one right now is set to be planned based on released sales order. So it comes with the exact quantity as what we need. So from here, you have the option to accept this or reject this because it's simply a suggestion, right? So let's say we carry out this message. So this is a purchase order, and you want to carry out creating the purchase order for the suggestion, and you run that, and you can now see that line is processed. So what has happened is a purchase order is automatically created. If I now drill down to the purchase order, now we are moving slowly from the inventory and the planning section towards the procurement section, right? And this is exactly what I meant by the fluidity between your modules in the system, as how the system updates the different areas in the system. Now, if I move towards the purchase order section, I can see that there is a newly created purchase order. I'm looking at the latest order number, which is the 010. And if I open it up, I should be able to see that same item for that location and the quantity that we wanted to order. The cost automatically comes from a cost sheet that you can also configure depending on the vendor. And there's a lot other factors as well. Like you can create a cost sheet based on quantity ranges by a specific vendor, by currencies, and a lot of other factors. And the cost is picked up from that setup that you would do, making it more easier for you to have the cost showing up automatically. So everything looks pretty good on this purchase order. And if you'd like to proceed with this, all that you have to do is print or send. I prefer sending it because we live in a digital world. We can click on the send button, which now integrates to the Microsoft Outlook. Again, here's where the Outlook suite, the Microsoft suite comes in picture. It looks up your Outlook account, and then it creates a purchase order um, to be sent via email, right? So an email is automatically created, and you are able to set up how you'd like to send the email. You can have a canned text saying like, "Dear vendor, I'd like to purchase this item," with a PO attached. So there's a bunch of configuration that you can also do on the email communication to the external parties. Okay. So once when the purchase order becomes acknowledged and confirmed, you can internally release it, letting your team know that this is a PO that you're expecting to receive, right? Um, so order is good to go.